They said it was a steal, a forgotten gem waiting to be polished. The old station wagon, loaded with a lifetime of hopes and the laughter of two young children, crunched up the gravel driveway. Looming before them was Blackwood Manor, a skeletal silhouette of Gothic spires clawing at the bruised, stormy sky. Rain began to fall in heavy rhythmic sheets, drumming against the car roof like a frantic heartbeat. The father, Mark, forced a reassuring smile. "It's got character, right?" he said, his voice a little too loud. But his wife, Sarah, clutched her coat tighter, her gaze fixed on the shadowed windows that seemed to watch their every move. Their daughter, Lily, pressed her face against the cold glass, her breath misting the pane as she stared at the imposing oak door. The air inside was thick and cold, carrying the scent of damp stone and decay. A grand staircase swept upwards into darkness, its banister coated in a fine layer of dust that shimmered in the intermittent flashes of lightning. As Mark fumbled with a flickering lantern, the heavy front door slammed shut behind them, the sound echoing through the cavernous space like a final, damning judgment. A faint whisper, like the rustle of dry leaves, slithered from the end of a long, dark hallway. Doors along the corridor creaked open one by one, revealing nothing but deeper, more absolute blackness. Little Tom, the youngest, began to cry, his small sobs swallowed by the oppressive silence of the house. Shadows writhed in the corners of their vision, stretching and contorting into unnatural shapes with every lightning strike. Drawn by an unseen force, a sound that was not a sound, but a feeling of profound sadness, Lily broke away from her parents. She placed one small foot on the bottom step of the main staircase and began to climb, her hand trailing along the dusty, ornate railing. At the top of the landing, a figure began to coalesce from the shadows. It was a woman, translucent and weeping, her form flickering like a dying candle flame. Her sorrow was a physical weight in the air, a silent scream that tore at Lily's heart. The ghostly figure raised a shimmering hand, her mournful eyes locking with the child's. The temperature plummeted, and a wave of pure, unadulterated terror washed over the family below. Mark screamed Lily's name, the sound cracking with fear. That was the breaking point. Mark scooped up a paralyzed Lily, and Sarah grabbed Tom, pulling him close as they turned and fled. They didn't stop to grab their bags, or even to properly close the car doors. They scrambled back into the old station wagon, the engine roaring to life with a desperate cough. Tires spun in the mud, slinging dirt against the ancient stone as the car lurched backward down the driveway and onto the rain-slicked road. In the rearview mirror, the house stood silent and dark, a solitary light flickering to life in the highest window. They drove through the storm, the haunted mansion shrinking behind them, its secrets and sorrows left undisturbed. They never looked back, for they knew that to do so would be to invite the darkness to follow.